The Sony Xperia XZ1 is Sony's latest flagship smartphone. It comes in actually just below the XZ Premium, which has that 4K screen at a slightly more affordable price point, and it only has a Full HD display. It also has that slightly boring Sony design, but it is packed full of features. So let's jump into the review and just see how it performs. First up, and its design, and Sony is sticking true to its current design ethos of a box with large bezels. Now, in a year where we've had the Galaxy S8, the Note 8, the LG V30, even the iPhone X, which are giving us almost full screens on the front of the phones, the Sony seems, well, old. It's a design we've seen for years, and it just feels like Sony's got stuck in a design rut, and I'd really have liked to have seen something a bit more futuristic, maybe something a bit breaking that mold a bit more. That said, it's still a very functional design. It's got the IP water and dust resistance, so it can survive a dip in the bath without breaking. There's a little flap on the side to get your SIM and your micro SD card slot in, useful expandable storage for anyone there. On the flip side, on the right hand side of the phone, you've got a fingerprint scanner under the power lock key, unless you're in America, because for some reason Sony has removed the fingerprint scanner from the phone for just the US. Why? And then around the back you've got Sony's camera, and then on the front there is the display. And that display is a 5.2-inch Full HD HDR supported display, and it does look really good, especially if you've got Netflix or Amazon Video, and there's some HDR supported content on there, boosted by the dual front-facing speakers as well, giving you a really good audio experience, stereo sound directly into your face rather than the bottom-firing speakers that we see on the likes of Samsung and Apple. Also, the rounded edges of the phone sit really nicely in the hand, and the metal feels premium and solid. It's a nice feeling phone. It's just a shame that the look isn't quite up to date. In terms of battery life, it's a really important aspect for anyone buying a smartphone, and the XZ1 will last a day on a full charge. It's not going to last any more realistically though. With average usage, you will require a nightly charge. You've got a 2700 milliamp power pack inside the phone, charged via a USB-C port on the bottom. Charges nice and quickly, but if you start gaming on it, you will need to top it up if you want to last all the way till bedtime. While a day may not sound great on a single charge, it is on par with its rivals, so you shouldn't be too disheartened by the battery performance on the XZ1. Moving on to the camera, and it's one that Sony always likes to talk about because of its photography chops in other areas of its business. So you get a 19 megapixel Exmor RS lens on the back of the phone, and in general it's a very good, capable camera, especially in good light outdoors. Auto mode works well. If those specs sound a bit similar, it's because they're exactly the same as on the XZ Premium from earlier this year. So while the hardware hasn't changed, Sony has added a couple of nice little features on the software side, which will be coming to the older phone as well via a software update in the coming months. The first one is predictive phase detection autofocus. Now, Sony has already applied this to its video mode, but now it's also applied to burst mode. XZ1 will now be able to track that moving object to ensure it's always in focus. You can take up to 100 snaps, so you can hold it down and get 10 seconds of burst mode action, and it does actually work quite well. Secondly, smile detection has also been added to Sony's predictive capture. Predictive capture has been around for a while. It takes 3 shots before you've even hit the shutter button to make sure you don't miss a moment. Where the camera falls down though is in low light. When you compare it to the likes of the LG V30 or the Samsung Galaxy S8, the XZ1 just isn't as good. You're going to really notice the difference. If you want a smartphone that can really excel in low light, you may want to look elsewhere. However, something that the Sony camera does excel at is video. Not only does it shoot in 4K, giving you really pin-sharp images, but where Sony is really unique is in the slow motion setting. You can get up to 960 frames per second of super slow-mo footage. It's definitely worth trying out. We've got a video on our YouTube channel from the XZ Premium using this same super slow-mo motion, so make sure you check that out for some really cool shots. Under the hood, and the XZ1 has a Snapdragon 835 processor and 4GB of RAM, which means there's plenty of power for all your smartphone needs. Real Racing 3, for example, runs really well, load times are great, graphics are smooth, gameplay is really good. In terms of power, there's no issues, it's on par with the other flagships out there. It's not going to slow you down. There's also 64GB of storage inside, and if that's not enough for you, that micro SD card slot on the left of the phone can take cards up to 256GB inside, which gives you plenty of space to play with. And of course, this all runs on Android, and the very latest version of Android 8 Oreo. And the really good thing about the Xperia XZ1 is it's one of the first, if not the first phone in your country to arrive in a shop with Oreo. So it's easy to use, it works really nicely, and navigation is fluid. And finally, the last thing on the Xperia XZ1 is a new feature from Sony, and it's its new 3D Creator app. This lets you scan 3D objects around you, be it someone's head or your dinner. You can put it into animations and GIFs and various things like that, use it as avatars. There's been a very small hint that maybe there'll be something related to PlayStation in the coming years with this technology. And while it's not going to be something that makes you buy this phone over a rival perhaps, it is something that you can possibly say that you've been the first to a new technology and something that could form the future of phones in the coming years. So if you're looking for a strong, sturdy handset that's not going to let you down, has some amazing slow motion capture, has a fun little 3D creator app which may be looking into the future a bit, then the Sony is a great option. But if you're looking for an all-round great Android flagship, then you might want to check out LG, Samsung, even the likes of OnePlus if you want to save some money. So there you have it. If you want more detail, check out my written review on techradar.com. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.